And I reached a point where I was no longer like, oh my God, what am I going to say? Because we were just sitting in silence reading the paper. And
Hey, YouTube. Who's in the room? Like the thumbs up. Say hello. I'm going to start in a few minutes. Wait a minute. How y'all dropped off that quick? It was 3 people. Now it's down to 1. All right. Well, I'm going to wait for a few more minutes. Then I'm going to start. So how y'all doing today? This evening? Normally I wouldn't be on here because this is the day that I would have been working at Amazon, but I took off today. I wasn't feeling very well. And then yesterday they gave VTO, which is voluntary time off. It doesn't come off your PTO time or whatever. So, and then the day before that, which was Thursday, I guess around 5 o'clock a.m., they asked if you want to take VTO. And I said, okay, sure. That hour and 15 minutes or whatever wouldn't have made that much of a difference regarding pay. So I was ready to go home. And I guess yesterday when they gave the VTO, it kind of prompted me to take off for today, even though I did have some intentions early in the week, because I work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. So I just felt I needed a break in terms of working those long hours. Let me tell you, especially since I still feel pain in my feet. The sneakers that I bought, with New Balance a couple weeks ago, it's doing fine, but it's like it felt like there's a pain right at the ball of your feet. I know what it's called, but even though I looked on YouTube and tried to diagnose the issue, but it was something where I can't even remember what they call it, metastaphol or something. So there's some pads that you could buy that could alleviate that, but the ultimate relief of that is really losing some weight and getting some of that weight off taking off some of this weight. And you know what they say, for every the weight that you put on your feet is like 3 to 1. So that means that if I was to lose, say, 10 pounds, the ratio of 3 to 1, it would be like, alleviating 30 pounds off your feet. So I know what I have to do, and I am losing some weight because working at Amazon and all that walking I've been doing, I've managed to lose, I think it was like 4 or 5 pounds in these 4 weeks or whatever. So can you really imagine how much I could have really lost if I was really strict about my eating? I don't like to say diet. Someone asked me today, how's your diet going? I said, I don't do diets because number one, it's just a matter of eating healthier, eating more vegetables, drinking more water, taking in more fiber, eliminating processed foods like junk food, Chick-fil-A and all these other things, Culver's, and so I really haven't been doing that, eating a lot of fast food, and especially not every day. Certainly not every day. Now I did fall into the habit of when I leave work, I used to always go by McDonald's and get breakfast because I was so tired that I said, let me go ahead and pick up something for breakfast at McDonald's. But after a couple of times of doing that, I get tired of eating McDonald's, and I know I'm getting sick of eating Chick-fil-A because, like I told someone earlier today, I ate Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits, and then all of a sudden my stomach literally like blew up. It looked like it was like I was 9 months pregnant, and I was like, "What the hell?" It was like, I don't know, that dough or the flour expanded in my stomach, and I have been drinking a lot of water, so that's a good thing. So I was like, "Ooh." So I said, nope, no more. And with these prices going up, even though two chicken biscuits was like $5 and some change, it's like the chicken, they make it like smaller, like they're giving you smaller portions, or they're making the chicken smaller, the biscuits. Now I understand the biscuits, they make, I want to say they make those biscuits by hand. I don't know. Maybe I know Hardee's make their stuff by hand, the biscuits by hand. So I guess they try to conserve how much flour and ingredients they use. So they making these things smaller and smaller. So I said, nope. Once I get my free chicken sandwich for my points, and that's it. I'm not going to be doing it. Price of groceries is expensive. It's getting high. And I said, you know what? I need to eat whatever I got in this refrigerator, in this freezer, and cut back totally on eating out. And I've been improving, I've been doing that less and less of buying unnecessary things. So, but hey, 4 people in here. I don't know who's on here watching, but come on in the room. So anyway, what was my topic I was going to talk about? New gig opportunities. Oh, so let me tell y'all. So I haven't done them yet. I haven't worked them yet, but I'm going to talk about it. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I mentioned this on my last live stream a couple weeks ago rather, and I'm going to do it this week. So I may do it tomorrow. I may just, turn on the app and see what kind of orders it is and see how it goes. But it's the Skip Card. Now, Skip Card, they said that you go to AutoZone to pick up parts and stuff. I want to say Walmart. I don't know. I'm just curious because I've been getting a lot of requests about go online. If you do 5 deliveries, you get a $20 bonus, extra. And like I said, I signed up for Skip Card, and I'll put it in the chat so y'all know what I'm talking about. Skip Card. I signed up for this place about, I want to say over a year ago. I inquired about it. I saw it on YouTube somewhere, and I looked it up, and it was people. It was in other markets somewhere. I think it was Florida and some other places. And I was like, Skip Card, and they were Texas somewhere. So it was a couple years ago. People were doing that, but it wasn't a lot of videos out there. And people was like, oh, they pay too low. It sucks. Blah blah blah. But most of the time when these companies start out for the first couple years or so, they're not going to really blow up like that. So I remember when I signed up, I want to say, I know it was before the pandemic. So it was way before March. It might have been the year before last, but it was a minute. And I remember signing up and stuff, and they said if they was going to be in the Atlanta market, they'll let you know they're looking for people, blah, blah, blah. So when they finally contacted me, and this has been about, I want to say it's been a month now. And I signed up, and it was, everything went through. It's an easy process. and they didn't do no background. I don't think they did. No, they might have did a background check. I don't remember if they do. They probably do. So then they pretty much in Atlanta. I don't know how frequent they are, but I know one time, the very first time I turned it on, it was a 60 something dollar catering order. And I was like, I was already home, not even dressed. And they said they needed it by a certain time frame. It wasn't even enough time. It was kind of like within less than an hour they needed it. It was somewhere in Norcross, and I turned it down. I said, "Dang it!" I said, I should have just threw on some clothes, went over there, and did it. But nope, I didn't do it. So I said, "Dang, that was a missed opportunity." So they seem to be busy. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. So since I didn't work tonight, I'll be able to get up tomorrow morning or whatever, turn on the app, and they say drive towards wherever the green dot is and see to get orders. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do some little things tomorrow when I'm out and about tomorrow. But I'm just curious to see what it seems like. And that was one opportunity. So they not. I don't think they're looking for people right now. But you could try go on that website. Skip Cart, like Skip Cart, SKIPCART is in the web. It's on the chat, and you may look it up and see if they are in the area. But let me see. Maybe I'm curious. I'm gonna go on the website right now while I'm on here. I'm gonna go on there and see. I'm on the website now, so let me check. Let me share the screen. Okay, y'all see it? So this is the website, and they didn't really, of course, you see all these restaurants down here, and all the places that's listed. So I don't know, but pretty much they all over Atlanta. Now I couldn't show you the app and see what it looks like, but this is the website. All right. So as you can see, these are driver requirements. It's basic, must have a phone, 18, driver license. They do a background check. They say available to lift up to 50 pounds. I guess that means that when you go to AutoZone, because some of those parts could be heavy, even though it may be a small box. Sometimes those parts could be heavy, but I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. I can't tell you what the pay will be, but I do. I did sign up. I was approved, and I get messages every day. They got a bonus of $10, and no $20 bonus if you do 5 deliveries. So I'm gonna try it out this week. I'm gonna try it out and see. When I'm out and about, I'm gonna look at it and then I say, oh, let me turn on and see what I get. But Um, I don't think they have too many people in Atlanta doing it. If they are, I don't know because I haven't seen nobody make no videos about it, talked about it. So they ain't gonna be. I won't say they're gonna be bigger than Uber and Grubhub and DoorDash, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll let y'all know when I do one. Turn it on. If I get one, I'll do it this week just to see if what kind of schedules they have, what kind of places they'll go to. Now, whether or not I'm gonna use Black Beauty to do it in, I don't know. I don't think I will. So I may still drive the Corolla and do it because I'm not trying to put a whole bunch of miles on my new vehicle, and I don't drive that much. That car, I drive it very well. It's not seldom, but I don't drive it every day. I do it. I kind of, switch up or whatever. But in terms of doing food deliveries in the SUV, no. And if I do it, it's going to be because I'm going to drive around up the street. And then if I get an order that's in, Snellville or Stone Mountain, it's going to be real local. I'll tell you that. But between putting gas in the cars, so right now I got half a tank for the Toyota. I do need to fill up on the SUV, but I'm not going to put miles on that car like that. Nope. But I'll let y'all know how that goes. Then the other one is, let me stop sharing this. So that's the other one. The other app that I came across, and I saw this on YouTube as well, is for Walmart. It's called Spark Driver. Now, Walmart is Spark. It's just like their symbol or logo for Walmart. Spark Driver. But that's Walmart. So basically, you pick up the groceries from Walmart and you deliver it. And so when I went and downloaded the app, I didn't sign up yet. I just downloaded the app, but I looked to see what areas they were looking for. Basically, in Atlanta, it is not Stone Mountain. It is Morrow, Georgia, and Sandy Springs. So when I went on there, I was like, "Ooh, let me see what the map looked like." So they'll show you what Walmart that they do the Spark drivers for, which is a Walmart somewhere in Sandy Springs. And then the other one is Morrow, Georgia. But they only looking for drivers from Morrow. I'm like, oh, that's south of Atlanta. That means it's like towards the airport. I'm not going that side of town. Morrow, Georgia, too far, too wide of an area that I looked at. I was like, I'll tell you, you could go to Morrow, Georgia, Walmart, and you could be going to College Park, Riverdale, all the way south. And I was like, nope, don't want to do that. And I guess they wasn't looking for anyone in Sandy Springs, Walmart. That would cover like Roswell, Sandy Springs. Now, I wouldn't mind going to Sandy Springs, but they weren't looking for people. They were looking for Morrow. So I said, nope, I'll wait until the other Walmarts start accepting deliveries. And then if they are, on the east side of town or Lawrenceville or Snellville or whatever, then I'll do it then. But right now, I didn't sign up, but I did download the app. And that's a process too. You just put in your information and that's it. But I pretty much knew eventually Walmart would get in the game of doing their own deliveries. I knew that was going to eventually happen because Instacart, Ship, and all those other ones, I said, once the other companies have the capabilities of developing their own app and get people to drive, not their own workers, like people who work for Walmart. I'm talking about they wanted to do deliveries. It was a matter of time. So by them only being in say 2 areas in Georgia, but they're only looking for people to go to Murrow, and I could imagine why, because most people live up in Murrow. Murrow is not a very affluent area. Like when I went to Murrow, Georgia, it's like it's kind of look run down to me. And it's been a minute since I've been in that area of town, but it ain't a whole lot of people gonna be living around there, and they ain't got the income level is kind of low, and the area is kind of I ain't gonna say ghetto, but it is kind of run down. But see, when they say Murrow in the Walmart in Murrow, Georgia, man, ain't no telling where you going. You could be going to college. You could be going anywhere. I said nope, because the majority of black folks, Hispanic, whatever, may live on that side of town. And if they ain't got no car and they want to say, "Ooh, they're gonna want to order from Walmart," and most likely it'll be a whole bunch of water and everything else. And I was like, nah, I'll pass, because ain't no telling what they give you tips. I don't know. I don't Like I said, I haven't seen too many videos, people talking about it. But those are the two new opportunities that I came across. And like I said, I didn't sign up for this Walmart yet, but I did sign up for the other one. But I'm not trying to make that like a 40-hour week. That's just gonna be something that I'll do, just to see. I'll tell y'all about it later on in the week. Once I get it and do it, and then I'll see how it pays out. But in terms of like every day, all day, nah, I'm not gonna do that. Like I was doing 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. I would get up, like say when I was doing people Uber, and they had those promotions. I would get up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever, making my way down to Decatur, because that's where it was mostly in town, and I would work from like that part of the morning till 4 or 5 o'clock. And most of the time, you go into the airport, and you know when they Uber had those specials, and I said, "Oh, let me make my way toward Decatur, which is 10 miles down the road," and then that's when you get the orders. And then I would do that in the morning. I said, "Oop." I see those people leave out the house with their suitcase. I said, "Dang, I'm going to the airport." But after a while, I got used to driving to the Atlanta downtown, going through the airport and stuff. So it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad at first. And then, and then if I didn't do that early in the morning, I would do it like 8, 9 o'clock. And I would do those housewives or people who were, needed to go to the doctor's appointment or wherever they're going during the day. That was a nice ride too, you know. But would I go back to doing Uber and Instacart and all those things again? Nope, I wouldn't. One, I don't think I would. I don't even think they'll take me back. So, and I wouldn't. I don't see how DoorDash, Uber Eats. I don't see too many people doing Instacart. I used to go, like Aldi's and stuff. I used to always see people. You could tell they were doing it because I could see their phone, and you could see that they would be doing Instacart or whatever. But I don't see that as much anymore. Like a whole lot of people doing that. I remember when I first started, you'd go to Publix, you would see at least 3, 4, 5 people doing Instacart, doing the groceries and stuff, and Uber, go to the restaurants, and it'll be like 4, 5, 10. It'll be like 15 people trying to pick up food. And that's how I came across the other apps. I was like, "Oh, what's that?" And they'll say, "Oh, this Postmates and this Grubhub," because I got confused with Grubhub and DoorDash because they both have the same red bag. And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, there's more than one company that does it." I remember that was almost me to 2016. shoot, that was 5 years ago. It's going on 5 years because it was 2016 that I first kind of it was the summer of 2016 because I was not at the IRS, and then it took me months to try to get myself settled down for being angry for not having to curse them out. And so I think it was late summer, like August. I think that's when I really started doing the gig jobs. It was August. I want to say it was August. It was either July or August, but I want to say it had to have been around July, middle of July, because that's when I went to New York and I had signed up for Lyft, and I was supposed to come back and give them the rest of my paperwork, but I never did get on with Lyft. And then I did, and I had signed up for Uber months ago back in 2015, but I never did nothing with it. I don't even know how I came across Uber. I don't even know how I came across that. How did I come across doing Uber or even thinking about Uber? But it was pretty, back 2015, there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it. It was very few people at the time. And I don't know how I came on YouTube to look it up. Like, Shelly Shell, hey, you know, one thing I gained from when I started doing these gig work was I gained a lot of people in regards to meeting people, even if I talked to you on the phone personally or, we met in person. But one of the biggest gains was that I had managed to come across a tribe of people who I talked to on the phone, David and Shelly Shell. And one point it was DeJour. I talked to DeJour, but I don't hear from him when something happens. So, and DeJour, if you ever decide to come on here, it's true. I only hear from you when something happened. Other than that, I call you on the phone or whatever. And I was like, that thing DeJour ain't not answer nobody. So I guess everybody's busy. But yeah, and then of course, my YouTube family and subscribers who I've met through the years, the last few years, even if we haven't met face to face yet, but I did want to do a meet and greet one day, but dang, Rona put a real link, kind of put a damper on that. But we'll one day meet. I need to go on vacation. I need to take a trip somewhere. I still want to use my $500 Southwest voucher. I still got that going on, so I want to use that before they decide to do any kind of government shutdown. And I didn't want to do nothing this summer because these airlines been acting up, especially Spirit Airlines. They said people took Spirit Airlines. They've been stuck at the airport for 3-4 days, couldn't even leave. I was like, ain't that some bitch? I thought when I had my little long delay when I went to New Orleans coming back home to Atlanta with Southwest was a mess. But shoot, can you imagine you flying somewhere on Spirit and then you want to go, you trying to get back home and you can't get back home and you in the airport for 3 days? And it wasn't just Spirit, it was another one. Somebody else got stuck somewhere. They canceled flights and stuff. I said, but see, they've been announced that. A few months ago, they was announcing there was going to be some problems with airlines being grounded and canceling flights during the summer because they don't have enough people, with all these labor shortages and stuff, and they had to cancel flights because they didn't have pilots and flight attendants because you can only work so many hours in a day. You can't work them so many hours. So they had to cancel flights and people been stuck at the airport. I was like, God dang. I could imagine. So, but I'm gonna use my $500 voucher because I don't want to lose out on that. So maybe I'll do a trip somewhere. I wanted to use it to go somewhere like an island somewhere like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic or Mexico, you know, and try to use my vouchers and go on those type of flights. But I'm gonna wait. Everybody trying to travel during the summertime, so I said in the fall I'm gonna take a trip somewhere where not so many people trying to go anywhere. So, and then I'll probably get some good discounts, say at the hotels and things like that. So I'm gonna wait, but I don't want to wait too long because I don't know with this dang Delta thing going on with the virus. Ain't no telling, and I don't know. I think that if they had just people were so rushing to open things up so quick. Oh, we need our jobs. Somebody see it's so funny. All the people talk about we need our jobs. The dumb crackers up in Texas, and they was like arguing with the healthcare workers. We need our jobs. We want to be open. We want to work. Now when the businesses are open and they trying to get people to go back to work, I wanted those same people yelling and screaming, talking about we need our jobs. And did they go back to work, or they sitting on their ass collecting stimulus money and unemployment? I wanted those same people who was complaining about they need their jobs. Are they going back to work? Did they go back to work? Because some of these people, those yahoos that you looking at on TV, they didn't look too smart. So whatever type of job they had, it had to be working at a restaurant, fast food. Now I ain't trying to say people who work at fast food or restaurants are slow, but the ones who were doing all that yelling and screaming and carrying on like a fool, they couldn't go beyond working, say, at the Waffle House, And ain't nothing wrong working at, being a waitress or food service. I'm talking about these people. They didn't look like they were high professional jobs like engineers, teachers, or anyone went to college. Yeah, yahoos. They come yelling and screaming, talk, acting like a fool. You know. So those same people who was saying we need our jobs, I wonder, did you go back to those jobs? Because somebody had to work the restaurants, bars, and they not the only places that's short either. Restaurants and fast food places, they ain't the only one that looking for people. There's a whole bunch of occupations that they have shortage of people. Customer service jobs, working from home. Used to work in the office. A lot of people worked there for years. You have to understand. A lot of people who were working, like my mother's age, they're on that verge of retirement. Some people were already on the verge of retiring. So you take those factors of people from the workforce that is up. I worked for 25, 30 years, time me to retire. And then the people around my age, Generation X, we're not at the retirement age. That's what, late 40s, 50s, mid 50s. You only got about a good 9, not even 10 years. I would say I'll be 53, 63, maybe 12 years of working life before I could say, oh, it's time for me to retire. Or I could retire if I wanted to. My mother, she retired, but she went back to work doing what she's doing. But they said, oh, you could work another 5 years for the state of South Carolina, and you could retire and get another pension from the state. My mother already got 2 pensions, New Jersey, New York. And then if they asking her if she could stay on a little bit longer and this and that or whatever. And all you had to do is work 5 years, you collect a pension. So my mother's working not because she need the money. She's working because, people really need things to do. I don't know. But she don't have to work, put it that way. It's good to a point when you get to an age when it's time to retire that you don't have to work. You can work if you want to, but it's not something you have to do. That's why I'm trying to prepare myself right now, you know, pay off my mortgage, pay off, I don't know. I want to say student loans, but that's a headache in itself. They extended the student loans. You have to, they suspended the interest till next year, January, for student loans, so you can make payments, which will go towards the principal. But I made a couple of payments, but after that, I'm on that income base. So after so many years being on that, they would dismiss the remaining balance. But the way I look at it, I ain't never gonna pay that student loans off. I'll pay my mortgage off before I pay those student loans. But that's a plan. That's a plan. Just trying to pay, I ain't trying to carry no credit cards and all that stuff. I put things on my credit card for the points, but I pay it off quickly. So, but there's a lot of things I need to do. A lot of things. I want to upgrade my house, but my mother was like, she did the upgrades when she paid off the house. Then you could pay, then you could upgrade and do whatever. So I have options. Hey, Tyson, I wish I didn't have to work. But I've been doing some investments. Let me give you some updates. So I already talked about the two new gig jobs that I came across. Um, oh, let me go back and tell y'all. The person who rented that room, she finally moved and got her stuff on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. She texted me on Monday talking about, hey, she come over sometime this afternoon or evening to get her stuff. I said, I'm busy. You're supposed to tell me 24 hours in advance. And, I had worked. I was laying down, tired. So she finally came and got her stuff. She moved on out. And then, I told someone this already earlier today. She comes over there with the truck. Yeah. She came over there with the truck. I said, you gotta be there by 10 because I got things to do. And I'm laying down. I hear some truck like beep, beep. I look out the window. I said, oh, there she is. And then I went downstairs. I took out one of the boxes that was in my coat closet. I had dragged it out, put it right in the foyer. Well, I said, here you go. Then she showed up with with that old man. He wasn't old, but he, oh my God. Like I was telling Erica, what the hell did he come for? He drove the car. She drove the truck. So I moved my SUV out the way so she could back into the garage so she could get the dresser out of the garage. They didn't have no lift on the back of the truck and she ain't had no help. It was only her, one person. The guy, the older man who came, the mother wasn't there, so she had no tribal people. And I'm like, at first, I was going to help her move the stuff out, but I was like, nope, I ain't touching nothing. So I try to get the dresser drawer out the garage. He's standing there. I said, don't drag it, pick it up. I'm picking up the dresser. He act like, this dumb nigga act like, I'm like, what the fuck did you not thinking in my mind? What the hell did you come for? Waste. I said, pick it up. Just pick it up. Why are you dragging it? I'm not responsible if this thing break. Why don't you just lift it so you could, I'm the one carrying all. No, I don't know who he was to her. I don't think, no, it wasn't. I don't think it was her sugar daddy. I think it was stepfather. I don't know who the hell he was. I didn't care. My thing was, this dumb nigga was like, I'm lifting up the dresser, and he barely tried to touch it like he wasn't trying to go. I said, boy, I swear to God. So and because I tried to take the thing out of the garage so it could be out of the garage so they could load it in the truck. But when she opened up the truck, she already had half of the stuff filled up already in the truck, not from the stuff coming out of my house, but from the other items she didn't get to move in the house. I think she must have had the rest of the stuff at her mother's house. So it had the table, the granite table she talked about she was trying to get rid of, that she was going to give it to me. And she had a whole bunch of other stuff. So she didn't get to put in everything in the house. So obviously she must have came by the mother's house and got the stuff and it was filled up to the trunk. So it was already halfway filled already. The truck was pretty much already filled up before she put anything in that truck that was already upstairs and in the garage, which was only one dresser drawer. So she doing it all by herself, and the whoever was to come and help her, they didn't show up. They didn't come to help. That old man, he was there. And when I say old, I'm not talking about 70, 75-year-old old. I'm talking about, mm, let's say 60s. But you know how black folks, we're real sturdy people. You could be 60, but you still got some. He was like one of those. But he act like, ooh, he was so trifling. I don't know why that nigga was there standing outside of in my garage just to be standing. And then he didn't even try to help her move the stuff. So she said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the stuff outside and then load on the truck. So that's what she did. So he said to him, oh, this box is light. He didn't do shit. Nigga, you needed to drive the fuck home and get the hell on. So anyway, in the meantime, I'm cleaning it up. I was trying to get rid of all these boxes and candies and stuff I had, and I was going back and forth from the curb because it was trash pickup day. It was Tuesday. That's what it was, Tuesday. So I'm trying to get rid of all these things I had, and I was like going back and forth, trying to put this stuff in the recycle bin. And I live on like a little hill, so I'm sitting here with boxes and stuff. I said, "Ooh, all this junk," And meanwhile, this was, she came at 9:45. It was about 10:30. So I was trying to help her put stuff up, take stuff out and lift it. And this guy, so finally, I see all these black folks driving up and down the road. I live on Water's Edge, right? Which is like, I ain't gonna say it's the main street, but you know how people just driving up and down the road, driving up the road. You would think all these dang ass niggas, young guys, you going home. You ain't going to work. It wasn't like 9 o'clock. You could tell people going to work. You could tell when people leaving going to work. People just driving up and down the road. They seeing somebody moving, see a truck moving and stuff. They see two women out there. The old man, I can't count him for shit. Ain't no point even putting him in the dang equation. And you would think somebody would say, oh, do you need any help? Not that you expect people to help or whatever. Not these days, not here in Georgia. So these two white guys, they stopped. They was in a truck. They stopped and they said, oh, I need, she asked if she needed any help. So they stopped. They were working at heating and air condition. I guess they were doing servicing, heating and air. So they stopped and asked if she needed help, and they helped her. Next thing you know, they two white guys coming in the house, and they went upstairs, and they was helping her with the mattress and everything. I said, "Oh, I'm so grateful that y'all came to stop to help her." And they helped, and when those two guys came to help, it was like a snap. And then they helped arrange the truck. She had all the stuff, all kind of ways and stuff, and they get in the truck and rearrange the furniture in the truck that was already in the truck already before she came and got her stuff. And then they started yapping, and she's from Conyers. And these two guys went to, I guess it was the high school, or they lived in the same area that she lived in, and said, yeah, I went to such and such high school. Yeah, I went to such and such high school. I'm in class of 2008, and I'm 2012. So they weren't too far in age. And they were talking and stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then they didn't ask for money or nothing. I don't know if she offered anything, but she said, "Oh, let me get your card if you have any help." So she found a job. She's moving to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I didn't ask her about the job she found, but she said she found a job, and then she also found a house, and she was telling them about the house. Now I didn't try to overhear it, and it was like a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story, and she may be, I may think I don't say she's ghetto, but she must really got something going on for herself because of whatever she was doing as a job. It seemed like it paid pretty well, despite of the way how she tried to handle things, but she ended up thanking me. After it was all finished, she said, "Well, thank you, da da da," and so that was the end of that. And I told her, I said, make sure you go on the website and make sure you click that you moved out because they will continue to keep billing you. So I don't know if she did it yet, but I don't know. Maybe they cancel at the end of the month, at the end of the August or something. So, but she said she moving. She drove back to Florida. I said, you going to Florida the same day? She got her stuff and moving with that truck back to Florida. So I didn't see nobody else gonna be with her. So I was like, ooh. Hopefully she'll find somebody to help her move the stuff out that truck and move into her new apartment, because I said, okay, well, be careful. And that's all, be careful driving. I said, because it may rain, and it's been raining for the last months every day. So, but that was the end of that. And then as for the new person, he's in California. I called the number, and he's an old white man living in Beverly Hills, California. He got 3 storage units spread out, and 3 storage units spread out in Georgia, and he's moving into a house in Covington. And he asked me, can I hold the reservation? So I held the reservation. So I told him, if you need additional space, after moving. So he's trying to make arrangements to actually have someone move the things out of the storage and move it to my garage. But so far he's paying for the reservation. So it's $225 for the garage. And I said, if you need extra space in the room for any additional things, then it'll be $100. I put the room with the closet, it's $125. So I changed that. But I haven't heard much. I spoke to him on the phone Friday. Was it Friday? Yeah, Friday. So he didn't seem dangerous or something, So Clovis and whoever else in here, they'll talk about he's dangerous and they gonna bring roaches and he gonna bring all that kind of stuff. Nope. So, like I said, it's very secure and but she ended up there paying the correct price. It wasn't no $30. So after all of that, that matter was rectified. So then after that, I was like, okay. I told him, I said, you can move in this week or whatever. So once he's ready to move his stuff in, then he'll follow up with me. And then in the meantime, since I'm off until next Thursday, I'll be rearranging the garage, and I'll take some pictures and tell him this is how much. But I said if there's an additional space needed, that if everything fit in the garage and he needs to put stuff inside the house, then there's additional fee. So he agreed to that. So because 3 storage units, depending on how big these storage units are, I don't know how much it costs for people to store things in a storage unit. But I'm quite sure it's not $100, $200 a month. It's probably I don't know. I'm curious. I'm gonna go call a couple of these storage places just to see how much what they're charging people to store. Because let me tell you, with that rent moratorium ending, even though it was extended till September, based on certain locations, and with the rent moratorium and the CDC, the Supreme Court determined that was illegal for the CDC to interfere in the rent moratorium. They didn't have no rights to do that. And they reversed that in favor of the landlords and people who weren't getting paid. They weren't getting paid in their rent for like a year and a half, a year and 7 months. And you can't throw these people out for not paying no rent. And they still owe the back pay from a year and a half, especially the ones who haven't been paying a year and a half. So, storage unit places is going to be real lucrative because a lot of people's shit going to be put right on this curve, or they're going to have to sell their stuff or whatever it is they may have to do to when it's time to move out. And a lot of people, I'm not trying to be funny, but this might be a great opportunity to start doing Airbnb for storage, because even though the room that y'all normally see me in to do my live recordings, this is a master bedroom, but it's not like a true master. And then my other office where I do my work with TurboTax, and of course there's my regular room that was a guest room for sleeping, and then the other room is empty. And then I got all of downstairs. I don't even go downstairs in my unit because I don't have a TV. I have the TV upstairs, but I don't have cable. So, shoot, pretty much, I could probably rent my whole house out. And people say, okay, y'all want to rent? Okay, you could get the attic. I don't want to put nothing in the attic because, it's kind of hard to get up in that attic. But, man, with all these empty spaces I got, I probably could rent out my whole house and say, okay, if you need storage, you could take this little section in the closet, and this, depending on what it is, you could rent out multiple spaces. Literally, like, okay, you got 150 feet, and people got stuff they want to store. You could charge them. You could have a bunch of people rent space. Can you imagine that? Because literally, I have this big walk-in closet that's in the master bedroom. There ain't nothing in that. I mean, I do have some clothes, but it's not like I have a whole bunch of stuff. But the closets in the room, the garage. And I could still really technically just park the car on the other side of the garage. But the sitting room, the living room, because I don't have anybody come over. I don't have any guests. And if people say they have, they need a place to store their stuff, and okay, you got 10 boxes? Okay, you can put it right here in the corner and be like $50, $100 is this, if you want the closet will be $50 and just put, this whole stuff in the closet. And I ain't worried about no roaches and stuff because I went on Amazon today before I came on, and I bought these ultrasound things. You plug it in. It's supposed to deter spiders and critters and stuff. So I'm going to get that on Monday. And I remember seeing that in my mother's house, and they say it deters, because I've been having these issues with spiders in my house. I was like, God dang. So tomorrow morning, I need to do a deep vacuuming because with all this rain and the windows being open, I've been having spiders. I was like, but I always had these issues with these spiders. Like, where the hell these spiders are coming from? But I figure it's coming from that bathroom, because there's like a knob to turn on the faucet that's in the backyard, not the front yard. And I was like, I said, I must got a crack somewhere in the garden with all that mulch and stuff. And I said, dang it, that's exactly where these spiders are coming from. And they said and I was looking on YouTube, and they say spiders, they're looking to mate. And they said right around the end of the summer, beginning of September, they all start to come in the house. When it's hot, they all start coming in trying to mate. They're finding somewhere cool. So I have my air conditioner running, the fan, and it's hot outside. That's how you have these critters coming in your house, because they're looking for something cool to stay. So they say you have to caulk. And since I had finally replaced that door, they had those gapping holes. And I was like, what the hell? So I bought this thing that's supposed to, there's 6 units. And it's going to deter spiders and all kind of stupid stuff. But other than that, I don't see how that goes. But with that rent moratorium and then extending it, it's just going to be hell. And DeKalb County is one of the highest eviction issues ever. It was even mentioned on this other person's YouTube channel. It was about DeKalb County, and how they was talking about how that, the DeKalb County has an issue with a lot of people gonna be thrown out on the street. And the only reason why I say that, because it's gonna be mostly black folks that gonna be thrown out on the street for real, especially in DeKalb. People ain't paying no rent. People ain't, you know, people were already had eviction notices on their record, and they can't find no place to stay. And this was before COVID. People had issues with rent. Remember I was telling y'all one time I was doing Uber Eats, and it was this place called right there on Ponce de Leon. They call them second chance housing or apartments. And basically what it is that you pay $1,000. Now this was a few years ago. You pay about $1,000 non-refundable deposit, and you have to pay 2 months in rent for you to move in these apartments. And these things are right as hell. I went to a couple of them that I found out. Because remember I had that Wipro, and the guy was like, Mama, why don't you have so-and-so stay with you? You got a house, and you could let her stay with you. Because people be trying to be all up in your business and stuff, and you be like, you have any kids? No, I don't have any children. And then, you start talking and stuff, and they say, yeah, my mama used to live around. They live over there in Waters there. They live over, yeah. They start talking and stuff. I said, how y'all assume that I have a house, But, you have to remember, some of these people from Atlanta. So when you say, oh, I live in such and such area, they know. They know. There ain't no apartments around here either. There ain't not one apartments. There ain't none. And they figured since I'm at an age, they figured, oh, she ain't got no kids, maybe she got room to stay at, I be trying to tell these young co-workers of mine, especially when I work there with Pro, I told them, I said, y'all better stop acting all that little ratchet foolishness and get yourself together. You try to tell people, I try to tell these same people, because they old enough to be even my children, to be honest. You try to tell them something, I say, y'all need to quit. Y'all doing all that now, because I don't even know what these people are up to, because Wipro used to need people and hiring people like crazy at one time. I don't even know what those people doing. Last time I bumped into one of the guys, I said, you still at Wipro? He said, oh, no, I've been left, But at least Chaz, he had some sense, because he was trying to go back to school for cybersecurity, I think he was doing, or computers. He was working, his little side jobs while he was going to school. So at least he was doing something for himself. The last time I bumped into him, and I said, don't go into all these debts trying to go to school. And I said, because I wish I never went to school at times, especially when my master's degree. I wish I never went there and got that. I would have been practically debt free if I didn't get my MBA degree. Now I got to sit there and pay that thing, trying to pay that thing off. One thing for sure, when you go to school, regardless whether HBCU, whatever, the learning curve is, your degree is only good for 5 years in terms of, like, say you went to study and you went to school, good 5 years. After that, your degree and going to school is irrelevant, especially when when the part of education and stuff, that has no relevant in regards to your skills, because you always have to update your skills, upgrade. Even if you went in computers or IT, what you learned 2-3 years ago becomes obsolete. You're obsolete. You have to always keep constantly upgrading. You always have to keep learning new things, even if it is in IT or technical. You don't necessarily have to go to school and get a degree per se, but there's always these learning opportunities and certificates where you can learn new skills. you know. And if I had to start all over again, I would have never went there and got my MBA degree, especially from Capella, a private online for profit school. I would have never done that. I would have went on to like one of those technical schools, got like a certificate, something that was like 10 months and learn and not cost me an arm and a leg. Now, I'm still going to go and get a certificate because one thing I would say about working at Amazon is that after a year, if I could hang in there for a year, they'll pay 95% of your tuition, not to get a degree per se, but they'll let you go into a skilled demand field like IT, paralegal, or something, and they'll pay for you to get a certificate. You just pay 95% of the tuition, and that's it. And they want you to learn. See, at Amazon, they don't want you to keep doing the same thing what you're doing. They want you to go beyond doing what you're doing at Amazon. And they even hire people to do artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all these high technical. They do have those positions, and they need to find people, but they can't find them. That's why they established the Amazon Academy. But I haven't, they have the next one coming up in February, but I wouldn't be there a year. So I can't apply because I haven't been there a year yet. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to gain the skills that I need, which, I'm still studying for my enrolled agent exam with Intuit TurboTax so I could start my tax business. And I'm going to start rolling that out with my Facebook page and advertising and start taking appointments for next year and start marketing that. But because if people going to need it, because TurboTax and H&R Block, they ain't cheap. Not to do no Schedule C and everybody doing these gig work. You try to say, I got my accountant, and they ain't charging no $100, $200. They're gonna be charging $400, $500. And if you ain't got your stuff together, it may be more than that. Because let me tell you, you don't know what's gonna happen in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They may shut the government down. They may shut places down all over again. You'll never know. And the way they look at the way all these restaurants and all these places, they can't find nobody. Eventually, they're going to have to close. All that stimulus money, there is no more stimulus money. The only stimulus money, the only thing that people are getting now is that 3-4 months for the child tax credit. Like I already spoke to someone about that before. The child tax credit is nothing more than an advance for next year. So when next year comes, and you try to file for that first child tax credit, and you say, well, damn, why my refund ain't that much? You already got your money. You got your money this couple of months. So people getting $3,000 per child and all that kind of crap. If you got children, even if you had 2 children under the age of 17, and you get $6,000, I'm just rounding up. I'm not even giving the exact figures. You got 2 kids, 6, 7, whatever, and you getting, say, $6,000 for 2 kids for 4 months. You already got your refund for next year. Because number one, you may not be working. Because think about it, it's a twofold. People be thinking that that's such a big thing and a good thing. It's not. One, if you're working and you went back to work, and you got the child tax credit for those 3-4 months, when you file your tax return next year, you're going to have to report what you made the previous year. And if you made too much or based on what you make, because the more you make, the less that child tax credit is. So people try to well, I can't work because can't find no babysitter, whatever the case may be. I don't know. The first $12,500, if you had unemployment, they said that's not taxed at a certain dollar amount and this and that or whatever. You could use your previous year's income to adjust it. That's just too much. And the thing is, you only talking about a $200 difference or whatever the case may be when you want to use next year's income, whether you use 2019, 2020, and everybody's going to do all this little finagling And let me tell you, the first thing gonna happen is that people who are scammers who put these signs on the street that say we get you five, eight, $10,000, and when you get the paperwork and when you get the information to help them file, you think they're gonna do you know they're gonna charge five. They were charging people $400 something dollars this past tax season. So you know next year come, it's gonna be more than that. Just like everything else going on in price, food, groceries, whatever. What you think they're gonna do when next year come? They're gonna be the same thing. The same thing. So people gonna it's gonna be hell come next year when tax season come because one, people ain't gonna know what the hell they doing. Two, they're gonna be so damn confused and they're gonna be like thinking they getting all this big old money for a refund and they're gonna be shocked. It ain't gonna happen. There is no more stimulus. People ask me, you think there could be another stimulus? Nope, it will not. They barely waiting to see if they could sign that new infrastructure bill, that $3 trillion infrastructure. That is for bridges. And part of that infrastructure plan was to develop jobs and opportunities because they're gonna need to fix these bridges. They're gonna need to fix Wi-Fi and all this technology infrastructure. That's where those jobs are. Those jobs, but that type of industry they trying to build, they trying to pass. They gonna need. It's not just gonna people who gonna do construction. They gonna need people in technology, construct, all these type of things that relates to that. And that's not for just next year. That infrastructure bill is supposed to be something that's supposed to enhance it for the next 10, 15 years, if not 20 years. I want to say 10, 15 years for future. So all the opportunities now to learn a new skill, and I always been apprehensive about it because I always be thinking, oh, I'm too old, I'll be 50 something. Oh, I don't know if I can enter, because I always be worrying about, will I be able to go into um, technology field because of age? And I was like, you know what? If I keep doing that, 4 years will pass, 5 years will pass, and I said, you know what? Rather than me thinking about it, I'm just gonna keep learning new skills because they already gonna be a shortage in demand of people. That's why I was saying. That's why I come across people who are younger people, like my nephew and younger cousins and stuff. I'll be wondering, especially with black folks in general. I said we need to stop. Girl, that's lit. Ooh, that's lit. And they worrying about stupid stuff, you know, and get yourself in the opportunities of learning. There's so much money going out there for people to go to school and even if it's and you know bump going to, I'm not trying to be funny and nothing for people who go to HBCU, but bump going to HBCU and bump going to any regular college to put yourself in some major debt. I would have never. If I was 18, 19 at this time in the age, I would never done it. I would have never. I'm telling you, my niece, the one, she's in the Marines, she's real petite and stuff. She's in the Marines. She told my sister Cassandra, she says, Mama, why should I pay for for me to go to school when they could pay me to learn a trade? And she's in the Marines and that NSA learning Arabic for this. I was like, shoot, she got it made. My other niece, she was older. She went to the Navy, but she had took a medical leave of absence or whatever they call it, medical discharge. And she was in the same program, but in the Navy, and she was learning Arabic too. And she, even though she got married, have two little girls and stuff, she got out of the Navy earlier this year. So I don't know what she's doing. I need to call and see how they're doing. And I think my sister said she was either going back to school or something. I don't remember. I think she said she was going to I don't know if she's going to do computers or IT. I know it was something she's going to go back to school because she did go to Albany State and went to college initially and then went to the Navy. And I want to say she probably take that GI Bill or whatever and go into school to learn um, something or whatever. I don't know. I have to call my sister anyway. I need to go down there to visit, see how they doing. But the point that I'm making is that rather than they putting themselves in this major debt of student loans, they went to the service and picked up, they had high battery skills. So the type of job that they doing is a very high level skilled. And when the other one gets it, when she finally gets out of the Marines and the skills that she's learning, depending on what she wants to do, she gonna have it made too. She gonna have it made. See, a lot of people going to the military is not so much that's always a good thing. It depends what you're doing in the military. See, you could be in the military and you could be have the low battery scores, and they say, okay, we're gonna put you as a clerk or a cook or something real low level skilled. And then when it's time to get out of the service, you ain't got no skill set. Even if you was, just because you're in the service, don't automatically mean you get a job automatically. It ought to. You just get extra 5 points when you go for a federal job. They give you extra 15 points or whatever, but it's not guaranteed. It depends what you're doing when you're in the service. Saving your money. If you live on base, you ain't paying housing, you live on base. See, some people get out of there and go into service because see, my cousin Travis, we are on the same age. He went in the Navy and stuff, and he ain't really got nothing to show for it, to be honest. I was like, and there's a lot of people I know. A lot of people go into service. They ain't got nothing to show for it. They've been in the service and stuff. They ain't got nothing to show for it. And a lot of people, particularly black folks, they be in the service and stuff. But out in the army, they ain't got nothing to show for it. They ain't got no retirement savings. They ain't got they didn't take advantage of going to school for free. Nothing. They didn't learn nothing. A lot of people. There's some people who do well, and there's some people who don't. But just because you get, they said, oh, you get special rates and you get this if you was in the service and this and blah, you get a special rate for being a veteran. You still have to pay. You may get a little discount here and there, but some people they didn't save. They didn't save no money. Some people went around, say they travel all over the world, and they ain't got no money saved. They got the service, nothing. They ain't got nothing to save. Everything drunk and spent up. You know, I'm sorry. Depending on what you do in life, you know, a lot of people a lot of people I've been following on YouTube for a minute. They was like, look at I made, showing all their wages. Look at what I made. I made $2,000 a week. And and then the minute Uber or Lyft deactivates the accounts, you ain't hear about them no more. You don't hear nothing about them. They ain't doing nothing different than what they were doing when I first met some of these people 3-4 years ago. I came across somebody's channel today talking about I do a nonprofit. I was like, okay. And then I was like, people always be trying to do something. I'm gonna do my group. I'm gonna start a nonprofit. Now you better ask them what you're gonna be doing. They know what the hell they doing. I'm like, okay, whatever. I know one thing. If anybody come to me talking about they started something and they asking for money or donations, surely I'm gonna go to irs.gov and say, what's your name again? And look it up. Cause some people, they be running and they be doing some crazy scammy stuff. And people be thinking, oh, it's so good. Let me come and support. You don't know who you be supporting. You have to look them up. Look them up. Because, like I said, I stopped giving my service. I ain't next year come, ain't gonna be no free, no free nothing. No free tips about nothing. Because I tried to do that in the past. And people just, You can listen, take what I say and heed, but some people already made up their mind on some of the stuff they're gonna do anyway, even if it is wrong. Even if it don't make any sense. I said, nah. I said, you know what? Let people go in that rabbit hole. Let them go right down that rabbit hole and do what they need to do. I just know it. Me personally, what I'm gonna do is have a plan on what I'm gonna do in the next 5 years, God willing, and know when the time factor or when things are up. And like I said, it was an interesting it was interesting doing Uber Eats and all those other things I've been talking about for the last 3-4 years. But those things ran its course, and like I said no. I said Walmart and all these big companies, they're gonna start doing it themselves. They're not gonna keep. I knew at Uber, and especially Uber, I knew it when Uber and Instacart and all those places. I said no. I said I see other companies branching out and doing it their own, doing it themselves. You know, and other people coming into the market. Other companies coming into the game. You know, it was real good when I used to pay $2 a mile and all that stuff. And then after that, I was like, okay, it went from $2 to $1 to 60 cent to 2 cent and all that crazy. I said, nope, 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 nope. That wasn't. And then it was too many people involved, and when and then they started going to fast food places, picking up fast food places, and I don't know. I don't know what some of these gig work where it's going to land to. I mean, how much money can you go up in buying Chick-fil-A to get it delivered? How much can you really pay for that? And then you go into these places, and people, they can't find no workers. I remember I applied at Chick-fil-A, not to work in the restaurant, but it was at the corporate office at Chick-fil-A at one time, and it was through a temp agency. I think it was an agency. I don't even think it was direct. I don't even think it was an agency. And they were trying to get on with Chick-fil-A at the corporate office and the customer service, and I ain't heard shit from them. Oh, I don't miss rideshare. I don't miss it either. But, well, put it this way, I don't miss Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. But I am looking to explore these two new. Well, no, I'm not gonna do the Walmart deliveries. I'm gonna wait until they are more so in Atlanta, not Morrow, Georgia. I don't want to go that far. It's too far away from my house, and I don't like the south part of Atlanta. I'm gonna wait until they when they're more closer to like Lawrenceville on the east side. I'm gonna wait until they start expanding. Then I'll do it. But I wouldn't do it on a regular basis. I may try it out once they come to the different Walmarts, and I'll try the other company just to see. But to do it 5, 6, 7 hours a day and all that stuff, nah. I'll still do my other gigs. I'll still do merchantsurvey.com and some of the other ones. I'll still do that until December, when tax season comes back around again, and I have to do the training for December. So I'll do that. And see that way. See, my plan is that once I go back to work in TurboTax again, And since I make my own schedule, and of course, there's always going to be overtime or whatever, because they're going to need people. Trust me. Trust and believe they're going to need people. I'll try to work at an Amazon during that time, but I'm trying to transfer closer to my house because I put it a transfer because Amazon on the app, you got to go on the app to do everything. They finally had some positions up the street, so I put some in. But the only thing about this schedule is you have to work Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and one of the days I want to say like they have overtime, Saturday overtime, but it depends. I don't know. Look at this. Win 500,000 or a new car in the Max Your Vax sweepstakes. This is on Amazon A to Z. So they got this. Well, what if I already took the vaccine? You mean I can't enter the sweepstakes? A new car or $500,000. They trying to get people into a sweepstakes. I know I already logged in my vaccine, but does that mean you have to? Was it previous vaccinations for me to enter the sweepstakes? I wonder who gonna win that. That'll be something. Dang. Hmm. I don't know. Now, why would I want to enter a contest, a sweepstakes, and then you got to pay taxes on that? If I win $500,000, then they're gonna take the taxes, the state and the federal. You got to report that unless they take that straight off the bat, take that straight off the top. Yeah, that'll be something. A lot of people win those prizes and stuff. They say there was a previous coworker that worked at the IRS. They was on the Prices Right, and they went all in California and they won this big prize. I can't remember what they won. It was a lot though. They didn't take those prizes. See what they show on TV, people be like, "Oh my God," they be running and stuff. But when but once the show gets turned off, and you behind back the door with the lawyers and all the paperwork, and they tell you how much you got to pay, and this is gonna be, it is a headache. It's not even worth it. Some people don't even take it. Now, it's good to take the cash, but the prizes, if you're gonna win a prize, it's better if you can take the cash prize than say the trip to Jamaica and the speedboat and the cars and all that. Ain't worth it. That ain't worth it. They say it was so much trouble getting the cars and stuff, you're in California and then you live in another state. That was a headache. It wasn't even worth it. I was like, what? Really? And getting it registered and stuff. It was like, ugh. See, they don't tell you that when you're on TV. You don't know about stuff like that. Shoot. That is a whole new pro game. Yeah, and now see if I was at work tonight, 12:42, we would have you still would be working. You wouldn't be able to take the next break until 2:30 a.m. and then 5 would be the third break. It is hard on your feet. It is hard on my feet. I swear. I work these 3 days and stuff, and then when Sunday morning come, when I get home, I'm in bed all day. I'm in bed that whole day, and then I'm like literally in bed Monday, Tuesday. I'm like, I don't even, I mean, I go out and about during the weekday, but not really. Most of the time, I'm in the house, laying down. let me tell you, working at Amazon, even though it's not as hard like it was before when I first initially started, when I used to work there for 5 hours and used to have those stuff off the truck and load the trucks and sort those packages. Now they have the robots and stuff, and and it's most definitely not Amazon Fresh when you doing, you go walking up and down the aisles doing the grocery shopping, and then you in that freezer, and shoo. Only thing, like I said, the only thing is that I'm on my feet, but I think I have this in regards to fattest jaundice. I think I also have something in the balls of my feet that's hurting. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on with my feet, and I can't seem to find a podiatrist that I trust to go to yet. But I mean, the brand new sneakers I bought for New Balance, it's well worth the money I'm spending, but that is giving me good support. But there's other things going on. It's like I can't even pronounce it. It begins with an M. It's like right below the ball of your feet. There's like a tissue or nerves, and if that's, I don't know what they call it. Let me see if I go on YouTube. I know that's what that is, but I know I also have platypus. That's one, but I know I got at least three different. I probably got three major things going on with my feet. Heel spurs, I know for sure because I was diagnosed with heel spurs a few years ago. Platypus, I know that's probably one. That's the bottom of your feet because my calf muscles be tight. And they said that if your calf muscles, and they'll be tight sometimes. So I try to do a lot of stretching and, well, not really, but I need to do a lot of the stretching for my calf and stretch my feet. That's why I haven't been doing the spinning bike as much because it was hurting my feet. I was like, oh my God. But I did do the other exercises. The other day I did the weight training on the bike because they have the weight training and stuff. And I did that. And I was like, ooh, I finally took those weights out and it was heavy. I was like, ooh, this thing is hard. And it was only 10-minute weight training. They said, okay, if you compliment and do the spinning. I was like, not tonight. Even though I did, but then they have the yoga. So I'm going to do the yoga tomorrow. Find my little spot and start focusing on the yoga, exercising, and the stretching and the weight training. And I'm going to try to build myself back to do the bike for an hour. But so far, I can't do a whole hour. So I gotta build myself back up to doing spinning on the spinning bike. But I am losing some weight though. I think in these 4 weeks I've been with Amazon, I've lost 6 pounds. I want to say it's more like 6, but it might be close to, well, it's not 7 pounds yet, but it's at least 6 pounds, 5 or 6 pounds. So I did lose 5-6 pounds. I could see it. My legs look a little bit more stronger. They don't look as flabby like it used to be. And my butt is not as, I say, I'm getting a little bit rise in the booty. You know how you start toning up, and I could see it. But I've always had very strong looking legs, but it's really getting stronger. Because, as you get older, you start to lose muscle. And the object of me is not to lose my muscles. So I'm trying to build up muscle because that makes you look leaner. The more muscle mass you have, the more leaner you look. And the more fat burns off the fat. So I don't need to focus on cardio. I need to focus on flexibility and strength. And I'll do cardio so I could, build up my endurance like heart. But based on the condition that I have in my feet, they said that running is not something I should be doing to aggravate it more. So it's these pads you could buy because when I did the foot test at the New Balance, they were saying I'm distributing most of my, when I'm walking, most of my weight is at the bottom of, is at the balls of my feet, like I'm walking. And that's where most of that pain is, right there below the toes and right under. Let me see if I can find that thing on YouTube because I don't figure out what that thing is called. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me see what that thing is. All right, I'm gonna find this thing I'm talking about.
This is a slow motion
All right,
video presentation on metatarsalgia.
metatarsalgia.
Metatarsalgia is a general diagnosis that alludes to pain and tenderness in the ball of the foot. So the metatarsal region or the ball of the foot is right here. During walking mechanics, we first strike the ground with the heel. The impact pressures are transmitted up through the leg. The ball of the foot or the metatarsal is the next contact point in line during walking. The metatarsal region as a general area accepts load. Specifically, you have 5 metatarsals: first, second, third, fourth, and fifth metatarsal. This patient has exhibited pain through the ball of the foot, and you can note callus areas in areas of increased pressure as well as friction during walking. The reason why people develop metatarsalgia has a lot to do with the thickness of the tissues or the fatty pad in the ball of the foot. Also has a lot to do with ankle joint flexibility. People who exhibit a really tight calf muscle, oftentimes during normal walking, will actually show increased pressures through the ball of the foot. Treatment for people with metatarsalgia really has a lot to do with adequate cushioning in the shoe, which is really important. But most importantly, using orthotics or an arch support, which is a tool to help decrease pressure through the ball of the foot by transmitting that pressure through the arch region. Callus is represented because of increased pressure or friction in these areas.
Okay, y'all see that? That's what I think I got. Not like this ain't my foot, but you know, it's the. Yep, I think that's what I got. And platyphalangitis and heel spurs. So I think I got 3 different things going on. I could diagnose that myself. I think, hey, you know, but trust me, that's how I feel. That's exactly what I'm feeling right here. That pain right there, the myalgia, they call it. And I know I got fasciitis and heel spurs. I know heel spurs for sure. I was told that a few years ago. So, what are you saying? Congratulations, Michelle. What's that? Congratulations to what?
When we talk about treating people who have metatarsal symptoms, what we really want to do is really reduce the pressure in the ball of the foot during walking. And the very first thing that we think about, of course, is cushioning in the shoes. So shoe construction, including cushioning, is very important. The amount of pressure reduction also is dependent upon the use of an orthotic. And an orthotic or an arch support transfers pressure or energy away from the ball of the foot and places that pressure in the relatively low impact areas of the arch. Shoe selection is really critical also in helping reduce pressures through the ball of the foot. Midsole cushioning is very important, and this shoe has adequate midsole cushioning built into it. What we're also looking at is the toe rocker. And the toe rocker
All right. back. So that is what I think I got because it exhibits the signals or the signs of what I'm feeling. Even though I'm not flat foot, but I do have a high arch. But I know I've been wearing the wrong shoes for a good while because I do wear out some cheap sneakers. And wearing flip flops is not good to wear. They said don't. It's not good to wear walk around. You know, people be seeing their little foot. They said that's not good for your feet. The little cheap flip flops and stuff that ain't good. That ain't nothing good for your feet. Because so anywho, oh my weight loss. Okay, I was going to say congratulations to what? There'd be delays. But the ultimate thing for your feet pain, they're gonna say the ultimate thing is taking that weight off you. Is losing that weight. Let me tell you, that is the ultimate thing. Because I don't remember feeling this pain like this in my feet like this. I remember when I did, I remember when I was losing weight and stuff, and as I was losing my weight and my legs were getting stronger, I ain't had no issues with my feet. Because with the weight loss, my blood sugar levels were decreasing and it was within a good range. But now my sugar level is so dang high, it's still like in 200s, but I know once I get to that 15, 20 pound weight loss, my blood sugars will probably improve significantly. So it's going to take a minute, but I'm going to try to go to the doctor this week before I go back to work Thursday because they don't want you to sit down. You can't sit down. I was like, you can't sit down in the crate. That's a safety hazard. I'm like, God damn. They said, I don't know if they let you have a stool in the station because that's the safe, I was like, when Amazon built, I was like, they didn't let you have nothing. I said, okay, whatever. Well, I bring my doctor's note, and they said that, when I get in pain, I have to sit down for so many minutes throughout the day. I'm going to have that thing ready for me to sit down. I do my work, but God dog, I'm not sacrificing my health over no damn Amazon or any job for that matter. Shoot, that's just plain ridiculous. And then I bought these compression socks. It's the different, colors and stuff. I worn those. I had that on, and that's helping a little bit. So I do wear that. So because I do have varicose veins in the worst kind of way. I've had varicose veins for years. I think that's hereditary. So I had these varicose veins. So I wear the compression socks so that will kind of help out some. But other than that, if I had no issues with my feet, that job is real simple to do. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. But when you have pain in your feet and you stand up for 12 hours a day and it is not a good feeling. I'll tell you that. But I'm trying to hang in there with the Amazon. Like I said, I still got I gotta wait till October before I get another 20 hours of what they call unpaid time. I already used my thing, but that first day, the second day I used it, and that's that took off 12 hours right there. I was like, God dog. So I only got 8 hours of unpaid time off, and then today I used the PTO, so I'm back down to 13 hours of PTO, and then the vacation time accumulates. So I have 3 hours of vacation, but it's not hard to, you know, say when October come around, I'll have my hours back, built back up, and I'll find out if they're going to when they're going to approve my transfer to work up the one up the street from the house. But that facility, they said some people they transferred from the one I work at now to the one in Stone Mountain up the street from my house. Some people say they don't like it. They said that the one in Stone Mountain's a mess. I was like, what, really? Because it's so it's like 5 stories. This is how big the building is. One day I'm gonna take a picture. When I go over there one day, when I'm driving, I'm gonna try to see if I could take a video and show you what the building looks like. But I heard it's like 5 stories high, like 5 levels or something like that. It's huge. And I think, like I said, I think the way they schedules run over there is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know. It's a big facility. I know that's what they say. So but regarding I'm going to try to when it's time for TurboTax, like I said, I go back. TurboTax is December the 12th or the 11th or the 12th. Then my big, of course, when come January, February come, that's when I get extremely busy and I'll be working a lot of hours. People say you got 10 jobs and stuff, but shoot, in this time of age, and people who ain't trying to work nowhere, and they trying to you better find something now. I can tell you that. That's all I know. You better find something now. And the thing about it, one thing I didn't notice with Amazon, if you ever do get fired at Amazon, they'll let you come back. It's only so many months. They'll let you come right on back. They sure will. Especially around this time of the year, as it gets closer to not because a lot of people are going to be Christmas shopping and all that stuff, but right around this time of the year, they always seem to have a lot of openings and stuff. So if you ever, if you get on with Amazon and you need something, try to find something, especially if you need gig jobs, and try to find something, because I don't know. All these food deliveries and things like that, I think you can't really go wrong with the deliveries when it comes to grocery shopping and stuff, because I think this dang coronavirus thing, I don't know. I just think they're gonna be a lot of if this thing gets as bad as they think it's gonna get, they may start closing things down again. I do believe they will start shutting things down. Especially because when you think about it, if you was a business, right, and you can't find nobody, restaurants and all this stuff, eventually they're gonna have to either one, close down early, or and then the food shortages and everything going on. These a lot of places, I think they're going to start closing early. They're not going to be available like in terms of openings. I think they're going to be like, say they're going to close, say like 9 o'clock or something. I just think they're going to, they may say they need people or whatever, but if they can't find people enough, they're going to have to either close places early, not be open on certain days of the week. Um, Maybe not offer as much, like a breakfast. So, I don't know. I see that happening. I see that happening because even just take for example, when I worked at Maximus, that was the agency that was taking calls to the CDC. They said we had a 40-hour work week. They went down for 40 hours. They said, okay, we're not busy, so we only gonna, now we're gonna have a schedule of 32 hours. Even at Amazon, I don't work 40 hours a week of that location. I work 36 hours. So they still classify that as full time. So you're not getting a 40-hour work week. So I think a lot of places they say, oh, we need people. If they increase the minimum wage, because I heard CBS on the radio, it says CBS is in the game now. And so if you want to work at CBS, they pay a minimum wage. They pay $15 an hour for CBS. I was like, what? $15 for CBS? Shoot, I'll work at CBS if they was paying $15. I sure would. If they was paying $15, and I was like, shoot, you go to dang CBS and get that. So I think a lot of places they ain't gonna pay no $15 at no nasty ass McDonald's and Burger King. I know that. Not no fast food. They ain't gonna pay that. I've seen signs. And I don't know why they make a big ass sign. $12. No, was it $12 an hour? I think I saw one was 11. I want to say it was $12 an hour at McDonald's. I was driving by a couple of McDonald's had a big ass sign, $12 an hour. I said, now that's good for McDonald's. To work at McDonald's for $12 an hour, that's pretty good. Stand around and they slow walking ass people at the McDonald's, especially when I go to the ones, they be walking all slow. You be standing at the counter, ain't nobody in the lobby, and you wait for somebody to come to the counter, and they walking all slow like they ain't got a dang sense of urgency. Drive through, be off the round around the building, and they be walking all slow. Like, only time I heard someone really started working when I went to one McDonald's a couple of weeks ago, you could tell she was, she was an older black woman. She was manager, and she was like, "All right, now y'all need to come on, hurry up, come on now, y'all need to hurry up, stop." She was whipping that belt. There people walking out there slow like they had molasses in their ass, just like on The Color Purple. Well, you got molasses in your ass. Come on, they walking like they've been working for 10, 15, 20 hours, Ooh. But she was cracking that whip at the McDonald's. She was like, come on now, y'all come. All right, come on. And, shoot. What's going on here? We need to hurry up. They just walking, they just doing all slow, No sense of nothing. And they ain't had no customer service skills for the life of you. You walk up there, you say good morning, and people like, don't know how to speak back. I was like, oh, that drive me crazy. Good morning. Hello. And they looking at you crazy. I was like, oh, be driving me crazy. I said, y'all don't. I said they should base their wages on customer service surveys. And if you get so many good surveys from the receipt, take the survey, they should give them an extra bonus if they could get a certain score. Maybe then they'll work. Or giving good service or something. I went to Kroger's last night to do one of my survey assignments and stuff, and I was there. They had no cashiers. You had to go to the self-checkout. And I went to the self-checkout. Though they took Apple Pay at the Kroger's, they don't. And I went back in the car. But the lady, she was in charge of, making sure people went through self-service or whatever. She was like, she was real pleasant, but I was so dang. I know I wasn't as being as pleasant as I should be, considering that she was very nice and stuff. And she was like, "All right, yeah, have a good day now." I was like, but I'm so for months I've been coming across these poor customer service reps that when somebody do come along and give good service and you know come across as very rare. I'm like, God dang. But these people, they just got this. I don't know. It's like ain't nobody, you know, being ratchet and stuff. They just no kind of good service and stuff to get. Barely not doing nothing. But it was nice that she was pleasant because came back to I came back into the store and I said, "Oh, I just want to get my card," and then I said, "Oh, I was going to save it for you." This and I said, "Okay, thank you." You know, because I hate going to Walmart for anything. And I know when I go to Home Depot and Lowe's, especially Lowe's, you be hunting people down, look for where they at, and they're like, and you be seeing them, they be walking fast. They be walking fast because they don't want you to stop them to ask them any questions. And then they'll keep on walking. You say, excuse me, excuse me, person from Lowe's with the Lowe's jacket, help, they be walking fast. Like they could hear you. They know they talking to you. They keep on walking, try to ignore. Keep walking. Then I be walking right on behind them too, tapping them. Excuse me, can you tell me where? I'm gonna tap you right on the shoulder. You know, I don't run you down to ask you a question, and and they know you've been talking. They was talking to you, that I was talking to them to ask them a question. They be so quick to run off. Ooh. And Lowe's been like that way before then, even before this dang corona. They always been like that. You gotta hunt and look for people. Like, where they at? Ain't nobody around. And they be around, and then when you try to ask them a question, they, trying to ignore and walk off. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't doing nothing. You just gonna walk off. But these people be a trip. But anyway, I've been on here almost 2 hours. 1:52. 7 of y'all. Tyson, Michelle Shell. Who else on here? Dorian, Erica. Who else might be thinking on here? David. Y'all still in there? Ain't nobody saying nothing. I ain't gonna stay on too long. But anyways, I'll go ahead and see what y'all up to later on. But yep, just check out the things I was talking about. Walmart got Spark Driver, which is Walmart delivery. But they're all over the country though. But I think it's certain Walmart. But I see that expanding. I see Walmart really going to be expanding. Because let me tell you the reason why I say that. The reason why I say that is because a lot of the this is based on my survey assignments and the merchandise gigs in other companies. They're doing some major renovations at a lot of the Walmarts across the country, and they changing. Now it ain't gonna happen soon, but depending where you at, it's gonna take some time. But the majority of the Walmarts are gonna be upgrading and updated, and I think Walmart has really been pushing the app, like their website. So a lot of people, you're gonna be able to go on Walmart and you could do a lot of your shopping because Walmart is second to Amazon. I either want to say they first or second, but they they going into the e-commerce and delivery service real big, really, really big. And I think as the Walmarts get upgraded and a lot of the services of delivery for Walmart is going to be done, because Walmart for deliveries, when people get, it's going to happen. It's they really going to be doing it, and it's not no Instacart. It ain't no DoorDash. They're not going to do no DoorDash for Walmart deliveries. Now, even though DoorDash and some of these apps still has people go to the Walmart and pick up and do deliveries, because DoorDash, you do go to Walmart to pick up the orders, and they don't pay a whole lot. I mean, when I did DoorDash and I was going to the Walmart, I said, well, I'm going to this Walmart that's 20 miles just to go to the closest Walmart that was near that person's house. That didn't make any sense. And they didn't really pay a whole lot. It was kind of low. But right now, DoorDash, I think you go to Walmart and pick up their orders, but that's going to probably change. I think Walmart is going to eventually, they're going to expand where a lot of the other Walmarts around your area is going to start doing the delivery. And when they do that, I think I see their services increasing twofold. And they're not going to be like they're not going to be like Uber, where a whole bunch of drivers are going to be signed on so quickly and oversaturated. I know they're not going to really do that, but some people that I've been watching on YouTube, they was talking about it. That's how I came across looking at the area in Atlanta. But like I said, I'm not going tomorrow. That's too far. I'll wait and see, and then till they on the east side, like Lawrenceville or Lilburn. I'll probably do it then. But even then, I'll wait. And then I'll give you an update about the other company, Skipcart. I may do it on tomorrow. I may turn it on and see if they got anything. And if I get one, I'll do it. And then I'll let y'all know if I get one and how that goes. So, but anyway, anybody else got anything else they want to say? Until 2. I got 1:58 in the 8 seconds I've been on here. I'm going to give it 2 minutes. So once I get the 2-hour mark, that is it. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow. So I'll give you a few more chances to make any comments, ask any questions, comment, concerns, issues. Shelly, what's with the emoji? What's that mean? I don't know what that means. All right, I only got about a minute left. And then after that, I got to go. None of y'all here. I'll come on tomorrow night and then I'll talk about, I think I'm going to talk about ways that I'm saving money in this gig work with all these, even if you work gig work, how do you save money? I've been trying to get a lot of gift cards by scanning receipts and stuff, getting points so I could get enough gift cards to purchase items. So that's one way that I'm doing it without spending a lot of money. but I'll talk about that. It's a link on a previous video in the description. So I'll put a description at the end of the video of some of the things that I was doing. I've been doing it for a while. So anyway, 3, 2, 1. Y'all have a good night. Talk to y'all tomorrow.